Hi everybody, Kate here at Second Verse Paper Studio. I'm just swinging by to do a quick flip through of the pressed flower envelope journal that I made yesterday. Jessica over at Paper Terrace hosted a live stream yesterday and crafting party to celebrate hitting 70,000 subscribers. Congrats, Jessica. On there she taught us how to make these super cute little journals with these like windowed wraparound closures, and she also showed us lots of creative ways to use pressed flowers in our junk journals. I know I struggle with that. I will press flowers because they're beautiful, and I actually have a book where I stash them all, and then I never know what to do with them. So I was really excited to get into that aspect of it. I will link that video to her live stream down in the description box below. I definitely recommend giving that a quick watch if you want to try making one of these journals, or you want to just pick up some tips on using the pressed flowers. On top of the tutorial in the party, Jessica also shared these really lovely like charcoal rose printables for us to use as our front and back covers. Just something to give everybody a real solid starting point. And I was really excited to use that. It's a little darker than I typically go with my journals, but they were too pretty not to try to incorporate, and I actually ended up having a lot of fun kind of pushing myself in some unusual directions for me. Definitely a learning experience, but let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you the kinds of things I figured out. Just got a string closure, just some cotton string with some little rolled paper beads on there. I have a jar of these. When I have little bitty scraps left over, I will just go ahead and roll them up and glue them. And these ones I inked up with, I believe, the Tim Holtz Fresh Picked Raspberry. I want to say something like that. Raspberry something distress ink. So there's a little bit of yellow happening in there. They just ended up really nice. And on the front here, like I said, Jessica taught us how to do these windowed envelope flaps using like plastic packaging or whatever. These are actually pieces of old transparency film, which are nice and sturdy. And then I have some real pressed leaves in here, and they're like sandwiched in between, so you can touch it and wiggle it around and everything else, and those are protected. I did put just a dot of glue behind the frame on the ends of these leaves. That way they wouldn't slide around. I mean, they probably would have been fine, but I just wasn't sure. And I had really ornate wedding invitation envelopes to use, so I went ahead and cut a really ornate frame to go with it. I do a lot of fussy cutting, so that wasn't a huge deal to cut the funky curves and stuff. And I think it turned out kind of nice. Then I threw some roses on here just to kind of finish it off. Got some washi on there. It's a Seek Joy Wild Heart. And in here I've got a mix of real flowers and leaves, like this is my Snow on the Mountain from last fall, and then some fabric ones, maple leaf and the pansies. I added a journaling card. Just kept it really simple. It says bloom where you were planted. It's kind of nice having all these nice big pockets. You know, having made this out of envelopes, you had lots of room to put treasures. Got one of my little floral origami pockets in here made out of a dictionary page. And inside I made a little slide with some more pressed flowers. These are the offcuts from doing the windowed flap. So none of that went to waste. Next here I've got a page from a garden catalog and botanical book, some die cuts. Here's a German botanical book page. I just really like the colors with this whole red and green theme I've got going. Over here, these are from my eco-dyed papers that I did last summer. I actually cut some of the leaves out of the page, and I love them because they look almost like fossils. I just love my eco-dyed stuff. At some point here in the very near future, I'm going to get some scans made, and I will offer some of my eco-dyed stuff as digital printables in my shop. But I'm still messing around trying to get my mixtures right so I can get some really, really high quality pages for you guys. Here I did a belly band on there, just with some scrapbook paper and a sticker. This card is a yellow lady slipper, and it's from an old science poster. I actually got it all stapled together like this, and it's just kind of funky and fun to use. I made a couple of journaling cards and just tucked them in there. They were a little small for the pocket, so I went ahead and put the little lace tabs on there so you can pull on them. Over here, I took an old vellum envelope that was coming unglued, and I ended up cutting it in half. And I used half of it here and half of it later in the journal. But I've got some of my leaves that I'd pressed. I have discovered I'm not a huge vellum fan. I mean, the effect is kind of lovely, but these flowers were so vibrant and so fantastic on their own. I really wish I had done one of the other techniques for those. But live and learn, and this does work. It's just, I like other versions better. Like right here, Jessica taught us how to use tissue paper and Mod Podge to seal in your pressed leaves and flowers. And I really wish I had done this with these. But when you're starting this one out, this looks really sketchy because the tissue paper is like half transparent, half not, and it dries unevenly. So for a while, it's really, really scary looking. And I wasn't sure it was going to turn out, so I didn't want to waste my leaves, my really pretty leaves on that. And here I've got a postcard from Stanley Park in Vancouver, and I picked it because of the garden picture, and I thought maybe my little pressed leaves in here might have been like a souvenir or something. This is the other half of that vellum envelope. And I like this one a little better because the shapes of those leaves are what's really cool. The other ones, it was the color, and that really got washed out, but I do like these. On this side, just got a bit of collaging, and then I made a little journaling card. It says Bloom, and this is actually the tissue paper technique again, over a piece of peppermint plant from my herb garden. And on the back is just some journaling space. So it was real short and sweet this time. It was really nice to complete an entire journal in one sitting. I tend to like start these grand projects and they take forever, but I did have a lot of fun doing this. The windowed pocket is one of the new loves of my life. I adore this so much. And it's glaring really bad under my lights. I'm so sorry, but it really is just so pretty. And yeah, that's what I got for you today. Short and sweet. Definitely give Jessica's video a watch. Really was just fantastic to share so much time and expertise. I love this community so much. Everybody is so kind and sharing with all of their knowledge, and I just love it. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything, and I will hopefully see you later this week with another installment of our Infinity Journal series. I have been working on it, so stay tuned for that. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and happy crafting!